On behalf of Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America's over 200,000 members and supporters, I want to thank you for inviting me to present IAVA's legislative priorities for 2013. IAVA is the country's first and largest nonprofit, nonpartisan organization for veterans of the wars of Iraq and Afghanistan. Founded in 2004, our mission is simple. It's to improve the lives of veterans and their families. My name is Tom Tarantino, and I am the Chief Policy Officer for IAVA. I proudly served 10 years in the Army. And throughout those 10 years, my most important duty was to take care of soldiers. And although my uniform is now a suit and tie, I'm proud to work with this Congress to have the backs of America's service members, veterans, and military families. Over the past several years, Congress has made caring for service members, veterans, and families a priority. And together, Congress, the White House, and my colleagues here in the VSO community have redefined what it has meant to have our backs, and for this, we sincerely thank you. However, our work is not done. IAVA's 2013 policy agenda is a blueprint for addressing all of the issues facing new veterans head-on. We are ready to work with you to fundamentally change the way America supports its veterans and to build the new greatest generation. This year, we believe Congress must focus on the following priorities: break the VA claims backlog, end veteran suicide, and improve the post-9/11 GI Bill. Too many veterans are stuck in a growing VA backlog. According to VA's own estimates, 70% of claims are backlogged by more than 125 days. Regionally, the problem is worse, with claims at Oakland and Baltimore offices above 80% backlogged. These long wait times have a devastating impact on veterans and their families. Now, we understand the problem is complex, and there is no magic bullet that's going to solve this crisis. Although we are cautiously optimistic that reforms coming online at the VA should help, it's clear that this is just a problem that the VA is not capable of solving on their own. We need leadership at all levels of government to call upon every available resource to finally break this backlog. This includes ensuring that the entire VA, not just VA healthcare, is funded fully and 1 year in advance. This will ensure that reforms underway and in the pipeline will not fall prey to politics that has surrounded the budgetary process. The veteran suicide rate is also a national crisis. According to a recent report by the VA, approximately 22 veterans a day are taking their own lives. Unfortunately, IAVA fears that these numbers might be lower, as many states do not report data to the VA. One veteran or service member's life lost to suicide is one too many, and our country must swiftly and boldly address the psychological wounds of war. First and foremost, we must combat stigma surrounding mental health injuries. Secondly, the VA must seek partnerships with nonprofit, military, and local and even private mental health services to fill the gaps for veterans and military families. Additionally, IAVA recommends that VA and DoD partner with experts in the private and nonprofit sectors to develop a robust and aggressive outreach campaign. This campaign should focus on directing veterans to services such as vet centers, local, private, and community state health services, and should be integrated into local municipal campaigns such as 311 services. It should reflect the best practices of expertise in both the mental health and the advertising and marketing fields. Today, IAVA, in partnership with Cisco Systems, is actually launching a website called Career Pathfinder. In addition to providing innovative ways for veterans to match their military experience to civilian jobs, it also connects veterans with other services they need, like local mental health resources, things to continue their successful transition. This is just one example of how the private, nonprofit sectors can develop creative ways to help the VA connect veterans to services. The post-9/11 GI Bill is the most significant piece of veterans legislation in a generation, and it will enable millions of veterans and families to transition home, retrain for a new career, and provide an education that will build the new greatest generation. It was a landmark achievement. However, our work is not done. Student veterans still face significant challenges when attending a public college or university outside of their state of residence. These out-of-state students are charged a higher tuition rate by their college, but the post-9/11 GI Bill only compensate for the lower in-state rate. These out-of-state students attending public schools are not only being charged more for their education, but they often receive fewer benefits than students attending private schools. This problem has caused so many students to accrue significant debt or simply delay their education. No veteran should have to wait to start his or her education because of subjective state requirements for residency. With many veterans unable to establish legal residency in any state due to multiple deployments and military moves to posts around the world, it's time that all states follow the example of the 14 who already simply count veterans as in-state residents when they go to school. Congress has to fix this issue in 2013. Caring for the men and women who defend freedom is a solemn responsibility that belongs to lawmakers, business leaders, and citizens alike. Our warriors fight long after the war is over, and we must continue to fight for them. Thank you for your time and attention.
Tarantino, thank you very much.